continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Well, that was the fateful debate 75 days ago that changed the course of this presidential campaign. Since then, polling has shown a razor-tight race. For a closer look at the key battleground states and to show us potential paths to victory, our Elections and Surveys Executive Director, Anthony Salvanto, joins us. All right, Anthony, I love this part of the night when we learn all the different ways that each candidate could win.
Indeed. Good to talk to you, Nora. This is the fun part. I'm going to show you just how close this is and what it means. When we look at the fact that, remember, the presidential election is decided in the states, and we think it will come down to just 7 of those states. The closest ones, they're the battlegrounds. Now, across the Sun Belt, there are a few. We're going to see Nevada and Arizona, and then Georgia and North Carolina, all fast-growing, diverse states. And then in the upper Midwest, we've got Michigan, Wisconsin, and where the debate's being held in Pennsylvania. Now, you want to see just how tight these are? I'll show you some of our latest polls. In Pennsylvania, dead even. It's 50-50. And then in Michigan, it's a 1-point difference. That's within the margin of error. Similar story in Wisconsin. It's a 2-point difference. Again, in the margin of error. Those are examples of what we mean by razor tight. So how does this play out then on election night? Well, we're going to take a look at what we call the paths to victory for each of the candidates. So I'm going to bring up that map, and the states you're going to see in red, we think they're going to go Republican. The ones in blue, we think they're going to go Democratic. And those battleground states I talked about, those are in gray. So we can play a little hypothetical game here. Let's start with Pennsylvania, and let's say, okay, Democrats won it last time. Let's suppose Harris can hold it this time. I'm going to put that in her column right there and light it up in blue. Now, if that happens, and that's an if she were to then also hold the states that Biden held in the upper Midwest, I'm going to put Michigan in her column, and then I'm going to put Wisconsin in there, and that, all else equal, would get Harris to the 270 that she would need. Okay, there's another path for her, and that could be through those Sun Belt states. She could, if she flips North Carolina after the Democrats lost it last time, if she keeps Georgia in the Democratic column, which Joe Biden narrowly won, and then goes out west and holds on to Arizona and also holds on to Nevada, that also gets her over 275. Now, for Trump, and this shows you also just how pivotal Pennsylvania can be, here's a hypothetical for him. He wins Pennsylvania, let's suppose, like he did in 2016, and then he could hold North Carolina like he did last time. And if he were to flip Georgia back into his column, that gets Trump to 270. So those are just some of the scenarios that could play out. But the big story is, in a race this close, every vote, every state starts to matter, Nora.
Anthony Salvanto, thank you so much. And of course, those battleground states, those 7 states could not play a more important role. So let's turn now to Major Garrett. He's got to look at where the campaigns have focused their time. Hi there, Major.
Hi, Nora. Anthony loves maps and numbers. I love maps and numbers. This map, though, no numbers, only blobs. But I love blobs, okay, folks? I love the blobs, too. All right, very simply, travel during this 2024 campaign in blue, that's where the Democratic ticket has gone. Red, that's where the Republican's gone. The gray blob, I told you I love the blobs, both. Guess what, folks? All the blobs are in the battleground states. Hello, that's exactly right. Look at the blobbiest state of all. No disrespect, Pennsylvania. God love you, the Commonwealth. More blobs than anyone else. Republicans and Democrats are going to and have been descending on Pennsylvania. Same thing with Michigan, Wisconsin. Interestingly, North Carolina. Nora, 75 days ago, after that first debate, the Trump campaign thought North Carolina was done and dusted, over. Not anymore. They're spending a lot of time there, and of course, Nevada and Arizona. These blobs are not just representative of the thing that candidates value most, their time and their rallies and their exposure. They're also indicative of campaign ad spending, digital and television and radio. They're also indicative of offices for the campaigns, volunteers, door knocking, all the fundamentals in campaigns. So wherever you see blobs, that's where the campaigns are most active. And a word of warning. If you're an undecided voter in any of these blob states, to use a football term, have your head on a swivel. You are likely to be tackled walking into the grocery store by one of these two campaigns.
It's an excellent point. And of those 7 battleground states, Trump only won North Carolina in the last election. So it's a competitive again this year, but leans Republican at this point. But
Narrowly, very narrowly.
Very narrowly. Major Garrett, thank you so much.